Hello and welcome to the Becoming Your Highest Self podcast. I'm your host, Macy Renee, and we are going on a journey together, my friend. If you've been looking for a podcast geared towards your growth, self-awareness, navigating your brain's daily mind drama, and deep inner work to become your highest and best self, you are in the perfect place. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Becoming Your Highest Self podcast. Have you seen that the picture has changed? Most people don't ever change their podcast picture, and I'm on my third one because I couldn't get it to feel quite exactly like I wanted. And I've also been working on updating my branding and my website, and I switched platforms for email and finally figured all of that out. It's been quite the process. So you're going to be seeing some changes, especially if you do keep up with macyrenee.com. You'll be seeing a lot more on there, a lot of new things as well. And if you're not signed up for my email list, make sure you do that. You can do that at macyrenee.com. It'll pop up at the top, and subscribe, and you'll get access to my newsletter where I will be sharing, inspirational free coaching content as well as any offers I have. You'll get, notifications on if there's ever any discounts on digital courses and just all of the things. So make sure, if you don't want to miss out on anything, that you subscribe to my email list. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about prove it with the universe. Now, I feel like maybe I have talked about this before on the podcast, but I don't know if it was just in a little sliver, or if I was, if I had mentioned this concept and then said, I'll talk about this later. But I was going through my episodes and I didn't see, within the last 10 to 15 episodes, I haven't seen an episode called Prove It, but it's definitely a method that I really do want to teach, because oftentimes when we decide that we're going to become our highest self, that we're going to be better, that we're going to make decisions that are going to help us get to the next level, or meet goals that we have for ourselves, it's very common that something throws a wrench in our plan. And what happens is we often think that something has gone wrong. So the reason that I want to teach you about the prove it kind of system, the law of the universe, the prove it law of the universe essentially, is because nothing has actually gone wrong. In fact, it's an opportunity for you to step up and do the thing that you were going to do when it felt very easy to say it, okay? So what is prove it? So whenever I am saying prove it, I am referring to basically what the universe, aka energy, how energy responds to us when we decide we are going to step up and do the thing. The thing can be anything in the world. It could be anything. It could be you set a goal and you want to lose 20 pounds, or, maybe you just want to be consistent in a workout routine, going to the gym, working out at home, whatever it is. And you say, you know what, I'm going to work out at least 4 days a week. That could be one. And then all of a sudden you have this experience where something goes wrong with childcare, something goes wrong with, the babysitter, maybe the babysitter quits and now childcare is not what you need it to be. And the time that was going to be yours in order to meet this goal of working out 4 days a week feels like it's been shot to hell because it's just not working. And what happens is that in that moment, we feel like, oh, it just wasn't meant to be, or, everything always goes wrong. And I want to tell you that nothing has gone wrong. This is what the universe does. It gives us a test once we declare something that we want, who we're going to be, who we're going to step into. Once we declare something out loud, we set an energetic frequency. So As soon as you say, I'm going to work out 4 days a week, as soon as you say, I'm going to invest in that coach, as soon as you say anything that has to do with a goal, something that you're going to do or something that you're going to quit, I promise you that something will more than likely happen in your life where you feel like you have been shat on, truth be told. And you're going to feel like something has gone terribly wrong. And maybe you even start feeling sorry for yourself because you were so excited about this goal. You were so excited about what you had planned. And now everything seems to be going wrong. So let me just reassure you, nothing has gone wrong. Repeat after me. Nothing has gone wrong. When you have the money ready and you're getting ready to pay your coach and all of a sudden a bill comes out or something breaks, nothing has actually gone wrong. When you set, this goal for yourself that you're going to work out 4 days a week and the babysitter cancels and says they're sick and they can't come, nothing has gone wrong. Whenever it is, I am going to save money and try not to spend anything this week. And then again, something breaks down or something happens. The car tire pops. Nothing has gone wrong. When you say that you are going to speak your truth and stand up for what you believe in, and then people come in and completely tear you down, nothing has gone wrong. Okay? Here's what's happening. When we declare something that we are going to do, we set out an energetic frequency. We are setting out a frequency that we are up leveling, that we are getting out of the autopilot that I talk to you guys about all the time, and that we are creating something new for ourselves. We are going to do something we've never done, or we're going to do something that pushes us out of our current comfort zone and up levels us into the next phase of our life. And the universe has a funny sense of humor, and it likes to question that a little bit. So when you go to do something awesome that makes you really excited and you're in a good mood and you're like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. This is going to be the day, the thing, this is just it. The universe will simply send a test that usually sucks, where you start to feel a little bit woe is me and question why crap always happens to you. And the actual reality is that the universe is saying, prove it. Prove that what you said you wanted, prove that what you said you were going to do, prove that who you said you were going to be is who and what you are actually going to do, be all of the things, okay? That's what the universe does. It says, prove it. I want you to prove it to me. Do you actually care about this goal? Do you actually care about becoming this person that you said you were going to be? Do you actually care about this investment you said you were going to make? When it was easy to make it and before there was a challenge, of course it felt easy to make that promise to yourself. But if I start throwing wrenches in your trail and make it a little bit harder, do you honor your word as law? Do you treat your word with utmost integrity? Do you follow through with the thing that you said you were going to do, or follow through with the person you said you were going to be when it becomes less easy? Okay? Here's what I see people do a lot. They declare that they're going to do something, and then the wrench gets thrown right in front of them. And then their brain tells them all the ways it's going wrong, and they convince themselves that it's not the right time. It's just not for them. It's a signal they shouldn't do it. It's this, it's that, it's on and on and on. And I know now, after years of going through this, years of personal development, years of, law of attraction, all of that, like the laws of the universe, all of that, that nothing has actually gone wrong. It is just a test to see if you will follow through with integrity and honor your word as law and prove to the universe that what you said you wanted, or who you said you were going to be, or what you were going to do is actually what you're going to do. Not just when it's convenient, not just when it's easy, but when it's very difficult. when you're not quite getting the result that you wanted, when you don't get it as easy as you wanted it to be, when it makes you work harder? Do you still want it the same way? Do you still honor it? Do you still value it? Do you still respect it? So let me give you an example of how this showed up for me. Okay, this was super annoying. This has happened multiple times in my life. It's very obnoxious, actually. But it's just a part of, what happens. And if you can get this awareness in your mind, the next time that you go to set out to do something and it seems like something's gone wrong, just wink and be like, law of the universe. It's my prove it moment to do what I said I was going to do. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. Okay. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. I have a coach I absolutely love and adore, and she really started building her coaching platform on social media through Facebook. And so she would, give free content every single day. And then she would share about a program that she was launching through Facebook Live, and she would name the price of it. And, and then you decided whether you were going to send her a PayPal and be in this group coaching program. And everything, by the way, that she does is freaking brilliant. I love her. I love her. I love her. Okay. So it was never a question of, do I love this coach? Do I trust this coach? Blah, 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 blah. No, I love her. Every freaking word that she said was like gold. Okay. So she's talking about this money program. And I've told you guys in the past that I really struggled with money. Like, I was feast to famine. I would get money. I'd immediately spend it. I didn't know how to save money. It was very difficult for me. I had kind of a lot of resentment and woe is me mentality because of, the ways that I was raised, the thoughts that my family had about money. And it was just really difficult. Like, I often had negative bank accounts. And while I could see ways to create wealth, and while I really, really wanted it, my energetic vibration didn't match with the frequency of money. Like, I was definitely missing something. And I was watching her, and at the time she was making $50,000 a month. And, I knew her before she had hit that point. And so I, found value and total credit in being like, okay, this money program that she's talking about, I definitely want it. I want to pay for it. All of the things. So at the end of this Facebook Live, she announces that it's $777. And I am distraught, you guys, distraught, because truth be told, at that time, I probably had about $170 in my bank account. And 777 felt freaking far away. It was just like it didn't exist in my bank account, and I was so frustrated. I was frustrated with my money situation. I didn't see how to get myself out of it, and I lost it. Like, I messaged her. I was crying hysterically, telling her how much I wanted to be in this program. I just couldn't afford it. I didn't have the money. I didn't even see at the time the victim mentality. Like, I just really felt like, and I wasn't messaging her to complain to her about her setting the price too high. I was expressing this deep desire to be able to learn the information from her and not seeing a way, not seeing how it was going to be possible. And so I just couldn't get out of my own way. And I remember her saying, it's no problem. You will totally be able to get into it. Know that every time I run it, the price is going to raise. So this is going to be the one and only time. It's $777. It'll definitely be going up by the time you get to it if you don't do it this round. But I truly and fully trust and believe that you will figure out a way to be in it. Okay. So I was obviously devastated. I watched the comments of women that completed this program. They, took that information that they learned from this $777 program, and they just skyrocketed. Their money skyrocketed after they would just had learned the most amazing things. And I know this coach, so I know that she was knocking it out of the park. So the next time that it ran, it was I think $1,111, because she typically does angel numbers. And I was like, oh God, there it is again. And I still don't have the money. And again, I was very woe is me, blah, blah, blah. So what I began to do was practice the work of becoming the woman that could create money to be able to invest in myself, to create enough money to be able to decide what programs and investments I wanted to make in myself, and make sure that when a coaching program came around that I valued, that instead of having to tell myself no because money was choosing for me, that I could tell myself yes and powerfully make that decision to do so. So there I was, becoming the woman that I wanted to be. So about a year later, she is announcing that this program is going to run again, right? And at this point, it's been a year, and she had told me, every single time that it ran, it was going to be a different price. And I think she would run it like 2 times a year, maybe even 3 times a year. And I still wanted the information. I still wanted to be the woman that could understand and learn the valuable information that she was teaching. And so in that year, I began to become the woman that I wanted to be. And I had told myself, when this program comes back around, I will be investing in it. I will have the money for it. I don't care how much it costs. The information is so important to me to gain that I will figure it out. And at that point, I became the woman that knew that I was just going to be in that program. So it comes around. She's announcing what it entails, and then she gets to the pricing. And at this point, the pricing is $2,222 if you pay in full. And if you don't pay in full, it's $2,555, okay? So I had the money to pay in full. I had become the woman that could pay in full, and I didn't have any resentment towards the fact that it was $2,222, and I didn't have any hatred towards myself that I wasn't able to do it for $777. I just became the woman that could afford the price that she was asking, and I had no complaints about that. So I messaged her that morning and I said, I'm so excited. I finally get to do this program. I became the woman that can afford to pay you in full. I'm so excited. And told her that I was going to be signing up for her program that day. Well, funny thing, I didn't know that I was going to have 2 unexpected financial things happen to where my bank account, where I had transferred over the $2,222, now had negative, it wasn't a negative account, but it had pulled over $890 something. So I no longer had the ability to pay her in full. Now, when this happened, at first, I was completely distraught. I was so upset, and I felt shat on. I felt like totally betrayed. It was like, oh my God, why does this always happen? Why, I don't understand. Every time I go to do good, something goes wrong. And then I had that come to Jesus coaching moment with myself. This is why self-coaching is so important. And I was like, it's the prove it moment from the universe. It's the prove it moment. It was very easy to tell her that I was going to do this program when the money was in my account, when I could see it, when I, realized I had become the person that could take the program. But in the prove it moment, with $890 taken out of this account where I could no longer pay in full, my brain started to say, maybe it's not the right time. Maybe this is a sign you shouldn't do it. Maybe you should be afraid. Maybe you shouldn't trust that, you shouldn't do it right now, because what if another bill comes out? What if something else goes wrong? Then you won't have any money at all. And it was just the yada, yada, yada lingo that goes on in your brain. And I thought, no, I said that I was becoming the woman that could do this. I also gave her my word that I was going to be in the program. And a part of integrity and a part of honoring your word as law is follow through. And when these wrenches get thrown on your trail, the universe is saying, prove that who you said you were going to be when it was convenient and who you said you were going to be when it was easy is who you're going to actually be. It's very easy to be that woman when the money's safely in the account and you think you're just going to send it right over. But it's another thing for that money to be halfway missing, and ask yourself, are you still going to be that woman when it's not super convenient, when the full amount of money is not there, when you've had a wrench thrown in your road, right? Are you still going to be that woman? You said you wanted to be that woman. You said that you were going to be her, but are you actually going to be her? Not just when it's easy, not just when it's convenient, but you are going to actually be her even when it's hard. And that's the test we get a lot in life. That's when you know you're about to level up. I swear to you, if you're about to level up and do something that is going to better yourself, and something comes along that feels like it is shatting on your head, it is totally 100% your prove it moment to really ask yourself, am I being this person even when it is difficult? I expected to be this person when it was easy, but am I going to be this person when it's hard? Okay? Big deal. That's a big, big lesson. So when I was in panic mode, when I had lost the money, right, my initial reaction was at first to message her and apologize and be like, I wanted to do it, I really did, but then all of these things happened and now I can no longer honor my word, and I'm so sorry, I didn't know that these bills were coming out. And that's a very victim mentality. That's where a lot of us go backwards. We say we want to be this bigger person. We say we want to be our highest self. We say we want to grow. And then as soon as something goes wrong, we revert back to who we always were, and we miss the growth moment. That's when we miss it, and that is how we miss it, because we said we were going to do it when it was easy, and when it's no longer easy, then we revert back to our autopilot ways. And what happens when we're on autopilot? Nothing. We stay the same person. So this is your test. It is your test from the universe to say, follow through. Be that person. Step all the way up to the plate. Put your freaking toe all the way in the water, right? Not even your toe. Jump in the water. Not just put a little toe in and feel if it's too cold or too hot. Jump all the way in. Are you all the way in on your goals? Are you all the way in on your dreams? Are you all in when you say you're going to become this person? Are you all in? Okay. And a lot of times we think that we are, and then when we're presented with a challenge, we no longer feel like that's convenient. And then we break our word to ourselves. You know, we start cheating on the diet. We no longer go to the gym. We don't invest in the coach. We send them a message, much like I was going to send my coach of, I'm so sorry. I said I was going to do it, but now I'm not going to do it because now it's inconvenient. Now I don't have time, and all of the reasons, right? We have all of the excuses, and it feels very validating. It feels totally validating to do it. Okay. It will totally feel validated. So bring yourself back to the moment. So here's what I did. I did not message her that. I did not have this woe is me story. I was like, okay, I was going to do it and pay in full for $2,222, and now I can't do that. So the next option is the payment plan. The payment plan was like $555, right? Every freaking few days, I think. And I just did it. And even though I didn't have that full amount of money in my account, guess what? In being in her presence and being in her energy and being in the, I guess you would say, container of knowledge that she had around money, I was learning. So even though I was paying these huge payments every few days, just being in her energetic presence and learning the information that she had, I was unblocking money issues that I had had and carried on with me forever. And so while I didn't have even the $255, $100 or $2,555 in my account, I was able to learn how to create it because I had up-leveled as a woman. Like the woman that I desired to be, I actually stepped into. So even though the universe threw me a wrench and said, are you still going to be this woman? I stepped up to the plate and told the universe, yes, actually I am going to be this woman. Thank you for the challenge, but I'm going to overcome it and get through this. And I became that new woman on the other side. And I came out being able to pay her with no issues because I was making money, because she was unlocking a lot of the money things that I had going on. And that's just one of, hundreds of examples that I could give you about prove it moments. And I have so many prove it moments even with my clients. And they will message me sometimes and they'll be like, is this a prove it moment? Because it really feels totally crappy. And it always is. I'm like, yes, every time you go to up level, every time you say you're going to become your highest self, and every time you say you're going to become her, the woman that it takes to do the thing that you say you're going to do, you have to be a different person. So when the universe says prove it and throws a wrench in your, trail or whatever, yes, you have to continue and step up to be that new woman. Because if you don't, you fall back into the old patterns that you've always had. And if you're in the old patterns you've always had, you're going to be who you've always been. So if you're expecting things to change, being who you've always been, that's not going to work. You have to become a new person, okay? So I really hope that this episode helps you understand that when things feel like they're going wrong, they're actually not going wrong. They're going very right. It is your opportunity in that moment to see that this is your opportunity to up-level and break through a brick wall. I'm not even kidding you. You will feel like you have broken through a brick wall when you overcome something that tried to get in your way. You will truly feel like a different person on the other side because you became another person on the other side. You overcame something that was very easy to completely fall apart over. So be super proud of yourself for that. Doesn't that feel good? Like knowing that those shatty moments are actually not shatty at all. That they can actually be a really good moment because you can step into your power that way. You can become the woman or the man, right? The person that can do all of the things that you want to do, as long as you don't fall back into victimhood. It's not this woe is me, everything bad always happens to me, every time I try to get ahead, something goes wrong, every time I go to pay for XYZ, something breaks. Of course, because the universe is giving you multiple opportunities to prove that you're going to be a new person and overcome those hard things. That you don't get to just be who you want to be when it's convenient to you, that you're going to be who you want to be as your highest self when it's challenging. Can you be in integrity with yourself in that way? So that is today's message. So some announcements that I want to share with you all. Like I said, I've been updating branding and website and all of that stuff. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter because there's going to be free newsletters going out that's going to have coaching content in it. Discounts and offers at times. It's going to share with you my programs. One thing that I would really like to share with you, speaking of my coach that helped me with my money beliefs. So it was actually last year, I not only paid for that program that I told you about, but one other one as well, and spent close to $6,000 learning how to completely reframe my money mindset and how to really break through a lot of barriers that were very hard for me. And like I said, my coach at the time she started teaching all of this 2 years ago was making $50,000 months, which is really unheard of. And now I think she said her highest paid month in coaching has been like $600 and something thousand. She's phenomenal. She is a woman with integrity. I absolutely love and adore her. And she announced today that she is doing a 1-day masterclass for $222. It's going to be over 2 hours long, and you'll get access to the replay for 30 days. And it is about unlocking your money code. So what she essentially means by that is that we all have money codes. We have money trauma that runs deep. We have reasons why it is so hard for us to overcome issues with money. And she is going to be teaching on that. And I promise you, you will want to be in the masterclass. I've already got my seat. I basically buy anything that she sells because she's fantastic and so easy to fall in love with. But I promise you that you guys will love her too, and not sharing her because I want her all to myself would be very much an ego move where, it would be like if I was afraid to share her with you guys because I was afraid that you were going to work with her instead of me. Because while I do have a money program where what I've put together because of my knowledge with energy and the knowledge I've learned from her and some other coaches as well, I could be very much keeping all of this information to myself and then taking the information I learn and put it in my programs. And I just know when someone is doing a really good job and I trust them with even my clients. And so it doesn't scare me to share my clients with, or even potential clients, right, with other coaches where I know that they have mastered a specific area and they can teach it much better than I can. And while I really feel like I do a good job teaching money and energetics, the energetics of money, I feel like she always has this next up level, and she has the months to prove it and the track record to prove it. And she works with people of all different kinds. Like, it's not just coaches that she works with. She works with people that have all different types of jobs, careers, businesses, all of the things. So again, she is offering a masterclass for $222. You guys, that's a steal because her programs usually start at $2,000 and go up. The money program that I paid for, that was $2,555, by the way, was for 4 hours. It was one day, 4 hours. So the fact that she's doing an over 2-hour masterclass for $222, I promise you're going to want to be there, okay? So I'm going to put the link for that in the show notes. It's going to be on June 4th, which is a Thursday. Let me double check that. Yep. June 4th is a Thursday, and you have to register for it in order to be added to it. So the moment that you hear this podcast, if that is something that you want to be in and you want to get into my coach's energy, you want to learn the abundance of knowledge she has around money, make sure that you're in that masterclass. And again, there's a replay. So if you're not able to get on live when she does it, I think it's going to be like at 2:22. She loves angel numbers. So it's going to be at like 2:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe, on Thursday, June 4th. There's going to be a replay. So if you can't make it, don't freak out about that. I just really encourage you to be in it. You're going to learn amazing things from her. And she has a ton of other programs if you decide that you just love her and, want to be in her energy a lot more. But I wanted to share that with you. I wanted to be able to share that with you because she's helped me so much over the years. And even knowing a lot, I always feel like I can continue learning. And I hope that you have that same mentality, no matter who it's from, that you're always willing to learn and grow and have new knowledge added to your portfolio, because why not? So I love you all. I will talk to you soon. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter so you don't miss anything. And that can be found on MacyRenee.com. Have a good week. I'll see you next Monday.